This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Welcome to Primates, the podcast where we go through primates in popular culture from chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Oh, really?
Today's primate guest is Jess Perkins, one of my primest mates, whatever that means. Welcome, Jess.
Thank you.
Jess and I do another podcast called Do Go On. We also are life friends
Yeah, that's true.
and
Internet friends.
and
I follow you on all social medias.
well, there you go. I follow you on all but Instagram. You're annoying on that.
I am.
Obnoxious.
Yeah. And sorry, no. You're not getting away with chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Oh, that's the catchphrase.
Are you
I do.
sticking with that?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. Confidently.
Well, less so now.
I don't.
You're the first to have brought it up, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because I'm your first real friend. Everyone else that you've had so far has been a polite acquaintance.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how it is.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Maybe things need to change.
Maybe.
Hey, here's a great icebreaker because, it feels frosty in here. Jess Perkins, what is your favourite primate?
Oh, Matt Stewart. A fantastic question.
Thank you.
And as you know, while we were having breakfast before this, I was Googling primates. I think I'm going to stick with an old favourite of mine, which would be a chimpanzee.
Oh, yes.
And the reason for that is in any time, especially when you're starting a new job, when I started my last job, they said, just as an icebreaker question, it was, what type of animal would you be? And I always say a monkey, and I mean a chimpanzee.
Right.
And
Which aren't the same thing.
No, they're not. They're not at all. And I'm an idiot.
Yes, thank you.
I think I would be a chimpanzee. My reason for that is that I like climbing things.
Oh.
Yeah, I love climbing.
You
You didn't see that coming, did you?
I didn't. What?
Yeah.
I've never seen you climb before in your life.
I know.
All my life.
And the other one that I liked, just because they've got huge eyes and are very cute, are called a slow loris. Which I'm probably saying wrong, but God, they're cute. Give them a goog.
Do you feel anything in common with the slow loris?
Adorable.
Okay. Slow loris. I want to look that up. So talk while I'm doing this. That's singing.
Oh, shit. I always get those two confused.
Yeah, they are very similar.
Chimpanzees are they're so cute and they're so smart, but mostly they like climbing things.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's how I feel I like to relate to them.
These are very cute. They kind of look like monkey possums.
Yeah, look how massive their eyes are, like a third of their face.
They are big
They
eyes.
are huge.
They're from Southeast Asia.
Cute.
They range from Bangladesh to Northeast India. Wow. All right. I want to go meet one of them one day.
Yeah, big time.
They are. Yeah, they look sick. They look like
They are.
they look friendly.
You know what that looks like? It looks like one of the characters from Madagascar.
Yeah, the lemurs.
Yeah, but it's not a lemur. It's like the little one.
Not the big tribe thing. There's another one again.
There's King Julian, and then there's his sidekick, who's so fucking cute. It hurts.
Really?
It hurts to look at him.
That's painful.
Yeah.
It's starting to sound like we're talking about Madagascar today, but that would be misleading.
Absolutely not.
That would be erroneous, which is a word that I told myself I would use today.
Oh.
I told myself.
You're giving yourself a word of the day challenge, are you?
Nah, look, to be honest, I don't. That's one of the weirdest lies I've ever made. I never said that. I was trying to give myself an excuse for using the word erroneous. It felt good.
You don't need an
I should have
excuse.
just gone with it.
Yeah. Be you.
I'm so sorry, me. But today we're actually going to talk about another movie, and it's a movie you've chosen, Jess Perkins.
Yes.
Persons.
Buggins.
Well, what's the movie we're talking about today?
We are going to be talking about the 1997 cult classic. George of the Jungle.
Also a box office smash.
Smash.
It debuted at number 2, apparently, in America.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And it turned a $55 million budget into $175 million. No bloody mean feat, that.
Wow. And you know what? Like the production value in the film is fantastic. I can only assume it was entirely shot on location.
It was shot on a location.
Yeah, it was shot somewhere.
I read somewhere that the jungle floor was mashed potato.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
That can't be.
They couldn't afford dirt. I can only
think of one shot where that might be necessary, and that's where they've seen George's footprint.
Oh, right. Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe. Because otherwise it seems redundant. Like, you don't see a lot of their feet, to be perfectly honest with you.
What about when he body slams the lion?
That's pretty great. But actually what you see is him jump up in the air.
Oh, yeah, you don't.
You don't really see much of the ground.
That's good. The narrator, actually, because it's narrated, the narrator says at one point there'll be no deaths in this movie.
Yeah, I like that. He established that really early.
Yeah.
And that's after one of the porters falls off a rope bridge and plunges, I'm going to say, would you say 200 meters?
I'd say 200 miles.
Yeah. It's really far into, like, he should have died. Realistically, half of that distance, he'd be dead.
That was where they lost me a little bit.
But instead,
they took me out of the movie.
Yeah.
And
the narrator says there'll be no deaths, but there will be bad boo-boos. And then this guy's just got like a bandage on his shoulder. It's like, oh, okay, he fell that far and he's got a scratch.
Come on.
I need to see full body cast.
Yes.
Or bust.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see the splat zone.
Yeah.
That's a thing?
It's a thing.
If it's not, make it a thing. It's not a big ask.
Come on, Hollywood.
Jeez Louise, I tell you what. They're starting to eat their own ass.
Yeah.
Is that a saying?
I don't know if it's right in this context.
Drink their own bath water.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? They're getting ahead of themselves.
Yeah, right, okay.
They think they're all that.
Yeah.
But they're not.
They're not all that.
They're not all that.
They're not all that. So hey, you hadn't seen this movie?
I didn't see it till late last night. I watched it, and under any other circumstances, I would have. My body was saying, "Please go to sleep, man." Yeah. I'm like, I can't. I got to get through this.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us a brief rundown of the movie? Are you able to do that? I can do it if you want to.
Absolutely, I can do that.
Okay, great.
And I've seen it before and watched half of it last night before my body was like, no, Jess. Because to be fair, the night before that, I'd worked from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. on radio.
And you just
Triple J radio.
We were at a comedy night before that.
Exactly.
And you crushed it so hard that it must have taken a lot out of you.
But the adrenaline, right? So by the time I crashed from adrenaline, it was sleepy time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so George of the Jungle, it opens with a animated sequence explaining the backstory of George. Now, George, as a baby, is involved in a plane crash, and he's not. Like, I think everybody else was rescued, but not the baby. He was a baby.
Yeah.
So he kind of raises himself / is raised by apes. And Ursula Stanhope is a San Francisco heiress. Are you reading the Wikipedia I'm doing this almost word perfect?
You are. Amazing.
Yeah. She is touring around, is it Uganda where it's supposed to be set?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Tours Uganda, yeah, with local guides. And she's just on holiday. She's exploring, she's seeing animals, she's filming, she's adorable, she's lovely, she's a human ray of sunshine. And then out of nowhere appears Lyle.
Ugh.
I would like to point out that anytime we say his name throughout this entire episode, I would like us to say it as if it's leaving a bad taste in our mouth.
Ugh.
Lyle.
Like bile.
It
tastes like bile in my throat. Lyle.
And Lyle is her equally wealthy but fucking crazy fiance who's turned up to like take her home. He's like, "What are you doing?"
He's a real cartoon character. He's like a caricature.
Oh, I should say Ursula is played by Leslie Mann, who is wonderful. Oh. And Lyle is Thomas, what's his name? Thomas Hayden
Church,
thank you.
He's from Sideways, I think is where a lot of people might know him from.
Yeah, good one.
He's a funny guy.
I feel like he's like a shit boyfriend or a shit husband in something else as well.
Yeah, he's got that down pat.
He's really good at it. I'm sure he's quite nice.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
I don't know anything about him, but I wouldn't be putting my life on the line, with recent Hollywood.
True, but if you think about it, like Greg Kinnear is really good at playing an asshole, but he seems quite lovely.
Right, that's true.
Well, maybe he seems lovely in other roles where he doesn't play it. Maybe he's just a good actor. Fuck.
Imagine that. He's a good actor.
I don't know anymore. Anyway, so do you want me to keep going with the synopsis? Is this tedious?
No, this is great. Well, I mean, so that's kind of where the movie begins.
Yes.
And we find George. Have you thought about this? So he's brought up by apes, and he's sort of he's friends with all the animals.
Yes.
He knows how to talk to them.
He's king of the jungle.
King of the jungle.
Yeah.
But he and he's known as the white ape.
The white ape.
By he's almost a myth.
It's a legend. Yeah, that's right.
But why does he speak in broken English?
I think
is this just what he's picked up from when he was a baby?
Well, surely not, because I think he was quite little. I think he learnt from Ape.
Oh, that's right. Because his best friend.
Which is weird, actually, that Ape, played by John Cleese, or voiced by John Cleese, I should say, is the only one that can speak. None of the others can speak
English.
Yeah, he's speaking
very
great
well.
Point, very great point. Of course, they can communicate in their ape ways.
Yes.
But he speaks perfect English.
Yeah.
In an English accent, because it's John Cleese, and is very studious.
Yeah. Reads, plays chess, paints.
Yeah. So isn't that... I mean, I don't feel like this film focuses enough on where the fuck Ape came from.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, where did Ape come from? Was it some sort of a mutant, like some sort of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle scenario with ooze? Was there ooze involved?
Yeah, maybe it was Flubber.
Flubber.
That's the only logical explanation.
Yeah, Flubber, the thing that made things bouncy.
Exactly. It was what made this ape be able to speak.
Right. Okay.
So I think George learnt English from Ape.
Yes, that does make sense, but we just don't know where Ape learned English from. Yeah.
There's more questions there. But again, the film is called George of the Jungle. It's about him.
Yes.
It's not about Ape.
It's not about.
We've got to wait for the spin-off.
Yeah, that's true. And we've been waiting for 20-something years now.
No.
Because this show is about primates in popular culture, obviously. Everyone knows that. I don't need to be telling you that.
From chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Thank you. And in this movie, you've kind of got the spectrum of how primates are portrayed on screen. You've got real live monkeys, like capuchin monkeys.
Yeah, so cute.
And there's an orangutan.
Yep.
Which I cannot say, which I'm finding in this show.
I mean, you just did.
Yeah, but I think I put a G at the end, which isn't meant to be there, right?
Oh, yeah, but I think we all do.
Okay, great.
Orangutan. That sounds silly.
Yeah, orangutan.
But you don't go hard G. You just kind of soften the N, you know?
Yes.
It's not orangutan.
Orangutan. With the boys, yeah. Plinga plonga, and we knew we had a hit record. Orangutan. Orangutan love me do. We shortened it to love me do, but... so there's capuchin monkeys, there's a real life chimpanzee, and the orangutan.
Yep.
And then we've got men in ape suits, gorilla suits, playing drums.
Love it.
That's a big communication thing in this community, is the
bongos.
Gorillas on bongos. And you've got ape as the talking ape with like an animatronic face.
Yes. Quite expressive for 1997.
Yeah, I was my dodgy internet connection had it slightly out of sync, but was his mouth moving at the same time as he was talking?
Look, my internet connection was also a little bit dodgy, and halfway through the movie, the actors were talking a little bit out of sync.
Right.
But I think it wasn't terrible, and at least it was moving more than just like a hand puppet, like up,
Kermit the Frog. Because you were saying it was done by Jim Henson.
The costume.
Well, not Jim Henson, but by his company,
costume company or whatever. Gave the
Creature Shop or something.
Creature Shop, that might be it. Yeah, they did the gorilla suits, the costumes.
Right.
So there's a couple of actors who are credited as being like the gorilla body, and then there's another guy who's credited as like the face.
One of the suit performers, the only one with a clickable name on Wikipedia, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I wonder what else he's done. And he's famous as a comic book animator.
Oh, cool.
He's an artist most known for his work on Spawn, Uncanny, Uncanny X-Men and Iron Man.
All right.
Yeah, so it's,
Some people lead interesting lives, don't they?
he's a double threat.
No, he can tap dance too. He's
Oh.
a triple.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
How cool.
And then, so of the voice artists, you've got John Cleese, as you mentioned, obviously legendary comedic actor from
Yes.
Monty Python and amongst other things.
Have you read his autobiography?
No, I
Really
don't know how to read.
I'm
Don't
so
know how to
sorry.
read.
I did know that, and I keep
Yeah, why do you always ask me?
bringing it up.
Nearly every second thing you ask me is, did you read this? No, Jess.
Yeah, sorry. It's amazing that you're browsing Wikipedia now.
Well, I've got a feel for it.
Yeah.
I'm just picking up the vibe.
Yeah.
For the most part. John Cleese was Ape. And then you had, as the narrator, Keith Scott. Should we say this? This is based on an old 1970s cartoon?
Yeah, which was a parody of Tarzan.
Right.
So, yeah.
And, yeah, so which is pretty clear in the movie as well.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like a pretty clear parody. He's sort of like a...
She even calls him a Tarzan type.
Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
It's a
Tarzan wannabe or something, I think she calls him.
So he's sort of Tarzan, only a little less... He'll
Competent.
Yeah, he'll run into trees a bit.
Constantly.
Yeah.
As the theme song warns.
Watch out for that tree.
He's always hitting trees.
Yeah. Jeez, he's just... I mean, it feels weird, but he always bounces back.
Yeah. He does one of these.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's fine.
So the narrator is played by Keith Scott, who's an Australian actor.
Yes.
You were telling me this. Which
Born
is
in Sydney in 1953.
a good year. I looked him up and I looked up his filmography.
Yeah.
And he's I realised this very quickly that he played also the narrator in The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle in the year 2000. But he's also done iconic Australian TV roles such as voiced many of the characters in The Adventures of Blinky Bill, the children's cartoon series from the 93 to 2004, including Flap the Platypus, Wombo. Is that a thing? Mr. Koala, Mayor Pelican, Danny Dingo, and maybe my favourite named character of all time, Splodge the kangaroo.
Oh, yeah, Splodge.
Splodge.
So by the sounds of it, he's done pretty much every character other than Blinky and Nutsy.
Yeah, so
that feels like almost all the characters.
He's an important, very important
Wow, he's
player.
like the Hank Azaria of Blinky Bill.
Yes, he is. He's the Hank.
He's the
Only he
Hank.
doesn't do any problematic accents.
Well, have you watched Blinky Bill recently?
No.
So
Oh,
we don't know that for sure, do we?
That's true.
Yeah.
He also played Dexter the Robot in Perfect Match,
Oh, good.
which is Australian dating show in the early to late 80s.
I am
in the 80s, you
I'm
know. This is probably
devastated that Dexter was not actually
Yes.
a sentient robot.
I'm so sorry. I should have put up some sort of a warning before I said
trigger
that.
warning there. That hurts.
But yeah, Dexter the Robot, Perfect Match.
This guy's done everything.
Do you remember? I mean, that show was from before you were born. Do you remember that at all?
I would have seen bits and pieces or
it feels
clips
like
of it.
maybe it was repeated or something in the
Maybe,
90s.
or it's been referenced in other things.
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
sort of thing, yeah.
Maybe he's been in ad campaigns.
Is it the type of show where you'd have like 3 contestants? Is it behind a screen kind of thing? Yeah.
Contestant number 1, what would you like
Yes.
to eat for breakfast?
Don't they do that in the Jamoan film?
Yeah, I think he goes on Perfect Match.
Is it The Crack or is it?
The Crack, yeah.
It's that one. I couldn't remember if it was that one or no. The Extras is the one where he's a movie extra. So that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, it's when he's
Yes.
backpacking through Australia. I think it's based on, maybe is it loosely based on when he moved to Australia?
Maybe.
It did have a comeback series, if this is interesting at all, in 2002.
Really?
Yes.
Why don't we remember that? That was.
I
I
think now
I
that-
was 12.
I think maybe I do remember that now, maybe. With Shelley Croft.
Oh, Shelley's done everything.
Shelley Croft.
She's done everything.
She has.
She's also not aged.
No, unfair.
Really unfair.
I've aged since this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Just cannot stop that bloody old father time.
Try as I might.
Give me a bloody minute, you know? Every morning I wake up, it's like, oh, another crow's been walking on my face. Hey? With those big feet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. I can see them.
I do not envy you right now. Tell you, looking into a mirror is the hardest part of my day.
I bet.
Oh, God.
I don't know if there's a good time to bring up one of my favourite parts of George of the Jungle.
I think now's that time.
Yeah, because I just don't know where I'll segue into it otherwise. So my favourite thing that came out of it when I was rewatching it last night was that George is my #hairspiration.
Okay.
His hair is perfect. It's a good colour. The volume.
Yeah.
It's got such great volume and just like that tousled, effortless,
Unkempt.
wavy curl.
Yeah.
Oh.
He does. So obviously, I'm assuming people, there's going to be some spoilers here. Spoiler number 1, great hair on George.
Ugh.
Number 2, they go to this, he gets a bit of a boo-boo, as in he's shot in the face, and we don't see that, but that's what happens. He gets a Band-Aid.
Who's he shot by?
By the bloody Lyle. And so they have to go, for whatever reason, back to the mansion in San Francisco.
Which I think another part of one of my favourite things about this movie is the narrator and how stupidly silly the film is. So the narrator would be like, Ursula takes him back to San Francisco to get the best medical attention available. And then she says, I'm going to get you the best medical attention. Like that happens several times and it's funny every time.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
Did they come up with that?
Yes.
I think that would now be hack to do, right? Do the narrator and then
I think it only works because the narrator's voice is so over the top.
Yeah. He does have a great voice.
It's so good.
If
and
you haven't, do
film's
yourself a
very silly.
favour and go back and watch the whole Perfect Match run.
Yeah, I'm going to.
7 years. I mean,
I don't have much else on.
Well, yeah, I was talking to the listeners, but I'm guessing in so many ways you're a listener right now, aren't you?
I'm listening.
Thank you for that. Thank you. You're there to support.
Always.
And listen. And also, I'm here for you and I want you to remember that.
Thank you.
No, please. It's the least I could do.
So Ursula takes him back to San Francisco. Where were you going with that? Do you remember?
Yes. So we're talking about his hair.
Yes.
And they don't show it, but he obviously gets some sort of, or do they show it? He definitely gets it straightened or something.
Oh.
There's some work done. He's looking, I think he's zhuzhed up for the big party.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, so he's running around with horses in their paddock.
In slow motion.
And
all of the women at the party are just watching him.
And something I read was his wife of the time is the one who says, I wish I could get a man like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's a little cameo from his wife, which is a bit of fun.
Cute.
If true.
He is Brendan Fraser. Holy shit, babe.
All right, give me your top 5 Frasers.
Ooh, okay. Oh, great one.
Yes.
Wait, as in my top 5?
Interpret it however you like.
Because I interpreted it as top 5 favourite Brendan Fraser moments.
Perfect.
Okay, great. George of the Jungle.
Number 1?
Number 1.
Okay.
Followed by...
We're doing a count up.
Maybe Dudley Do-Right?
Oh, he sure does. Does right by me.
Another...
He's the Canadian sort of...
Yeah, and it's another silly film that feels very similar to this one.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Great. What's the one with Liz Hurley as the devil? It's... fuck.
Liz Hurley is the devil.
It's called...
I'll say, can I give you my number 1 would be probably Encino Man.
Oh, Encino Man's so good. Buddy. Yeah, great.
Squeezing the juice.
Is Pauly Shore okay?
I don't know. I don't know that for sure, and I wouldn't want to say.
No,
but...
never.
Oh, The Mummy, obviously great.
Yeah, I was getting to The Mummy, but I feel like I like earlier work of his.
You ever see Airheads?
Bedazzled.
Oh, Bedazzled. I was trying to find it. Airheads is the one with
Yeah, Airheads is good.
with Adam Sandler and
yes,
Buscemi. The
Ugh.
Boosh.
I reckon that's sort of my Dudley Do-Right. Oh, Monkey Bone was pretty good too.
Oh, I don't know, Monkey Bone.
I think, I don't know. As in, when I say these are good films, they're stupid comedies. But as a stupid comedian, I feel like I'm well entitled to like
Are we
those
going to
films.
start a spin-off podcast about the films of Brendan Fraser?
Oh my God, can we? me? What's it going to be called? No,
Fra-
don't. You have to do that right now. It's okay because we're going to nail it.
Phrasing the bar.
And you fucking nailed it in one. Are you kidding me?
We have a good time here on Primates podcast. That's a genuine suggestion. We should think about that.
Yes.
I mean, we don't have enough things to do in our days.
My point is that he is an absolute stone cold babe in this movie.
Oh,
Killer smile. His body is phenomenal. The tan on him is also very good. So I was watching it with my boyfriend and did make the mistake of saying, holy shit, he's gorgeous. Not a mistake, actually, but I was like, that hair and that tan is phenomenal.
You also mentioned that your boyfriend did not. He took to Ohio.
Yeah.
Do you think that had anything to do with him being the arch rival of your
of me saying
your
George
crush?
was a babe? I don't know. He just felt sorry for him, but I think that's just because he's just a really nice person who sees good in everyone.
Feels empathy, yeah.
He's like, his empathy scale is a little too high.
He shot George in the face.
Yeah. I'm like, he's not good. Then again, we didn't get to the end of the film, spoilers, where Lyle basically kidnaps Ursula and tries to like force him to marry her.
Yeah,
He's a real piece of shit.
Yeah, that's a wild twist.
So maybe I'll make
he joins a cult.
Yeah.
Who's
becomes a minister and kidnaps her.
Yeah.
So he's not a good dude, but maybe I'll make Aiden watch the end of it and be like, now what do you think of Lyle?
Yeah. Yeah, still on board. Okay.
All right,
well, I'm
fair
learning
enough.
about you.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot about you.
And I'm concerned.
Sorry, I got distracted before. I was going through the voice talent. The other main voice talent was Frank Welker, and he voiced many of the characters, including Lion, Little Monkey, Shep, who is the dog. He's actually
/elephant.
an elephant. That's a fair. The Tookie bird, which I know is one of your favourite characters.
Tookie's so cute.
And Gorilla, as well as sound effects.
God, he's a talented man.
And he's had an epic voice acting career.
Wow.
But apparently he's best known for his role as Fred Jones in the Scooby-Doo cartoon series starting in 1969. Fred. See the blonde guy?
Yeah.
See
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Just to put it into context.
Yeah.
Also, apparently...
I went through a big phase of that Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh, did you?
Is there a monkey in that? Probably somewhere.
Oh.
Tenuous links.
But it wasn't a monkey. It was the old fairground janitor all along.
And he would have got away with it too.
But apparently he also voiced Nibbler in Futurama.
Oh.
Yeah. Who's like almost like a real life weird monkey animal you like.
Yeah. Yes.
Little adorable thing.
Loris.
Sounds like an old lady's name.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, Loris.
Yeah.
I mean, am I just thinking of Doris?
Yeah. And Lorraine.
Yeah, okay.
Together. Lorraine and Doris. What did you enjoy most about this cinematic masterpiece?
Well, I mean, where do you start?
I know.
I guess you'd start with the abs and you'd work your way up to the pecs.
Mm-hmm. I also found it interesting that at one stage he's like flying along doing all these tricks on the vine to impress Ursula because he flies through the jungle and his loincloth does not move. At one stage he's upside down, but it's still perfectly covering everything.
Oh, Jess, you were really focusing in on that loincloth.
No.
Or what he called a butt flap.
Butt flap. I'm just interested in physics.
Yeah,
man.
thank you. I'm thanking you a lot today.
And gravity. I was going to say graffiti.
Graffiti. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. I also was wondering, why is he so hairless? I mean,
yeah, good point.
He's clean shaven on his body and face, but his hair's long and messy. It's one or the other.
Honestly, just the waves.
Is there a barber or isn't there?
Yeah. Who's shaving you?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Who is it? Because I want their number.
They are very talented. You know what? I've only just realized that when you say like he's clean shaved everywhere, like the waxing that must go into being a Hollywood star, male or female.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's a full nude chest.
And they must oil him up a bit too because he's glistening.
Yeah, he is glistening. Or is that just a natural state of
Brendan Fraser. But same with like Thor.
Yes.
Not a single hair on his body.
No. Yeah. And
Captain America. You know how I feel about Marvel films.
And the list goes on.
Yeah. Etc.
Hulk.
Ant-Man. No, Ant-Man had some hair on him, I think. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Never apologize. One of the main rules of Primates podcast is never apologize, no matter how wrong you are. So some of the other actors, the key actors were, of course, the animals. As I said earlier, there were a lot of real animals playing real animals. And one of those was Crystal the monkey, one of the capuchin monkeys.
So cute.
/ animal actress, according to her page. She's had a huge career. Name a film.
Okay.
She's been in it.
Oh, all right. Liar, Liar.
Look, I mean...
The Incredibles.
That's a cartoon.
Okay. Mary Poppins.
I think that was before her time. She was born in... She was born in 94.
Oh, wow.
All right.
It's only 3 when she did this film.
Yeah.
Oh, child actors, eh?
She's been in... this was actually her first film. Also been in American Pie. Remember the monkey from American Pie?
No. Where's there a monkey in American Pie?
I don't know. But she's also in American Pie 2. The Hangover 2.
Yeah.
Fun with Dick and Jane, which is, the classic.
Jim Carrey's finest work.
Zookeeper. A lot of zoo movies.
That makes sense.
We Bought a Zoo.
Yes, Matt Damon.
Night at the Museum.
Ben Stiller.
She'd be that. She'd been in all the nights of the museum.
Wow. She's
been
that monkey.
Yes.
Wow.
Been in Malcolm in the Middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Frankie Muniz.
Nearly always plays a monkey, so not a lot of range, but when you can do what she does with the form inside the world of being a monkey,
yes,
then why would you look outside of that?
I think a lot of actors sometimes feel that they're being typecast and want to break out of that.
Yeah.
But I think there's something very empowering about owning what it is that you're good at.
Yep.
And making a really comfortable living from that and supporting yourself and your family.
Do what you do and do it well.
And she does.
Just be consistent.
And she does.
And you'll be hired again and again.
She's tried other animals. She's tried to play a human.
Yeah.
And look, the performances are still wonderful.
Oh, sure.
But as a monkey,
Yeah.
she is
Elevates.
breathtaking.
Yeah.
She steals the scene. Yeah. Just the presence on camera is truly remarkable. So I think, Crystal, if you're listening.
And I know you are. You've written in a couple of times.
Yeah.
And to be honest, language a little colourful, but your point was made.
Yeah.
And I've taken that on board.
Yeah.
I've stopped apologising on this show.
Yeah.
I've made it a rule.
Yeah, I will not apologise. But I will say to you, Crystal, thank you for your work. You are a master of your craft.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think that I don't think I could add any more to that. Yeah. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
And
I meant it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that makes it even more meaningful to me.
Yeah.
Somehow. So George of the Jungle, right? This is the movie we're talking about. Crystal stole the show.
Absolutely.
In those scenes.
When Phrase wasn't stealing the show.
Yes.
Or Leslie Mann. She's great too.
Leslie Mann's great.
She was only like 26 or something. This is the same year she married Judd Apatow.
Ah.
Do we want to talk more about the story?
Yeah. So yeah, we probably should give that a little more time. So we meet George. Leslie's there, aka Ursula. Mm-hmm. So she's in character for the whole film as Ursula, right? Yeah. And
at no point during the film is she Leslie.
It was a real professional turn.
Yeah. Anytime Brendan Fraser, when he was playing George, anytime he said, "Hey Leslie," she'd go, "Who are you talking to?"
There's no Leslie here.
Yeah.
Leslie, I don't even know what that word means. Is it even a name?
What's that? What's a Leslie?
Yeah.
She'd say.
She'd say, is this some sort of local term for something? Gosh, something jungle related, perhaps?
She's so professional.
So professional.
Love it.
She plays her truth.
I love her work.
And her truth is, I'm not Leslie Mann. I am Ursula from San Francisco.
Yeah.
And yeah, that hit me right here.
She has not aged in 20 years.
Yeah.
Like you see her now, she looks amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they go back to San Francisco and he's trying to get his head around the big city, much like Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, there's a little Crocodile Dundee about it.
A lot of like looking up at buildings, like whoa, a lot of that.
I think that is something about this movie. They definitely have borrowed from some classics like Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, and look, I think when you make a movie that is perfection, you can only assume that people are going to try and copy that, and it is flattery. Good on them for trying. But obviously they didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't quite.
Not quite, but close.
Cute though. Cute, wasn't it?
It was it. Yeah, it was a real fish out of water.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's comedy in that.
Yeah, it's great. So they go back there and then they go to somehow she's scheduled it so that the day she comes back is her engagement party.
To Lyle.
What? Oh, Lyle is in prison. In Africa
for shooting Frage in the face.
Yeah, which they frown upon.
Yeah,
most places do. So it's her engagement party, but obviously her fiance isn't there, so that's a little bit awkward. George is there, and then she realizes that she's in love with George
because her mum tells her.
No, her mum's like, no.
Yeah, isn't that? She's like, wait, what did you say?
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Did you say love? Yes, I love him.
Yeah. Sometimes it's.
Sometimes it takes your mum.
Sometimes you're too close to it. You can't see it.
Can't see the forest from the jungle.
Yeah. Somebody needs to point it out to you.
Yeah.
I do that to you all the time.
You do.
Remember how and genuinely how often I say, Matt, you need to go eat something.
Yeah. I'm too close to my stomach.
And you hate it when I do that because you hate it when I'm right.
Yeah, I do. I hate it, which is nearly all the time.
Anyway, so yes, she realizes she's in love with him, and her mother's like, you're not going anywhere, you're going to marry Lyle. But then her dad is like, go get your jungle man, because at this time, George has gone back to the jungle to save Ape, who's been captured by some poachers who want to take him.
Friends of Lyle's.
Take him back to showbiz because they got a talking monkey.
Yeah, they reckon that's their meal ticket.
Which is weird.
They're done with poaching.
They're
going into showbiz.
Yeah, because there's a lot of money in showbiz. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, a talking ape feels like that would
but like, he's not going to talk for you. He's not an idiot.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I don't know if you watched till the end of the movie. I know you didn't, but he does put on. He really works it.
Not with them though.
No, that's true. Yeah, if it was them, surely
on his terms.
Yeah,
he's a show ape on his terms.
That's true. Yes,
and that is what I respect about Ape.
Yeah.
Amongst many other things.
The movie finishes, again, spoiler alert, with a weird version of My Way, sung by Ape. I was like, was this worth setting this all up?
Yes.
You know, that's quite a lot of extras there for starters.
I think, yes. To be honest, I think that's...
Do you remember that
Yeah,
bit?
I do, yep.
Do you remember it fondly?
Yes. So George has gone back to the jungle. And Ursula follows him back to the jungle because she's realised she's in love with him.
Yes.
And that's where, as we kind of touched on before, Lyle turns up. Uh-oh, he escaped from prison. He kidnaps her.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Lyle's here. Blech. Yeah. And then, yeah, hilarity.
I mean, yeah, I guess we shouldn't give it all away, but
No.
you could probably imagine how it all comes together.
Yeah, I mean,
again.
it's a family movie, so you know it's going to end well for everyone.
Yeah. And it actually, spoiler alert, ends with them becoming a family.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
A quick little homage to the Lion King.
Right. I feel like, and I hate to say this because I'm really happy for Ursula and George, but he had like a little holiday into San Francisco.
Yeah.
Right? But then basically goes back to his treehouse and his life that he's always known. Whereas Ursula goes from being a very wealthy heiress in San Francisco, you know, having just disposable money and everything that she could ever need. And then she goes from that to living in a treehouse.
Yeah.
For love. And I get that love can be a wonderful motivator. But I feel like that's a big adjustment to make.
That is a big adjustment.
And for a while, I reckon it would seem really romantic and it would seem exciting and like an adventure. But after a while, wouldn't you just want hot water?
Okay, so you see a bit of a time, you'd see a ticking time.
Yeah. I see resentment
Right.
brewing.
So, yeah, I wonder if they...
Do you think they split their time?
I think maybe they should because he definitely... It wasn't like he had any trouble in the city. He seemed to enjoy himself there as well.
He adapts really well.
Yeah, that is interesting. I think you'd like to think that they would be splitting their time.
Look, I like to think that they would at least be able to communicate effectively enough that if she did feel any slight resentment or the urge to go home or visit her family and friends or something like that, that she'd be able to just bring that up and they could have a really, mature conversation about it.
Yeah.
And I get that vibe from George, if I can be honest. Yeah.
You get a mature vibe?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, emotionally mature?
Yes, absolutely. He may not be the most academically intelligent, but to be fair, he raised himself with no formal education.
And was unaware that humans existed.
Exactly.
Until she was the first he saw.
Yeah, he wasn't sure what a woman was.
Yes.
Kept calling her fella for a bit until Ape.
Funny fella.
Yeah, until Ape explained that she was the woman of his species.
He also licked her in her sleep.
Oh.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was.
Is it because he doesn't know how to kiss?
Oh, I think it was because he did. I think it was because he didn't know what she was yet.
Right. Okay.
Mate, is that what he would do?
I would. Yeah, like an animal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's not read too much into that.
Okay, sure.
I'm picking and choosing what I want to read into here.
Did you know that apparently he did all his own stunts for a long time?
Wow.
Because he was a big leading man for sort of mid-90s. He was
and
top
rightly
of the pops.
so. Yeah. So all of those instances where George, everybody yells, "Watch out for that tree," and he hits the tree quite hard.
Yeah, that's him.
That's phrase.
That's him really swinging on those.
Wow.
And actually, this is something I don't think a lot of people know. Maybe you do or not. But when they yell out, "Watch out for that tree," that's them talking to Brendan, the actor.
Wow.
That wasn't in the script.
Did they write the theme song after?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just happened to be the same as the cartoon from the 60s, or 70s. Or
Maybe
whatever.
he's just so method.
Yeah. He was George. Wow. But he's. I think that's one of the main reasons why I read a big feature article about him earlier this year, and that's why he dropped out of the limelight because his body just got banged up. He couldn't take it anymore.
He's had multiple surgeries.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, back and
knee, like a knee reconstruction. And I think I saw like vocal cord surgery too, which I can only assume is from all that.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
That takes a toll.
Have you ever tried to sing in the car in the morning before you'd really properly spoken and your voice is just like, no. Sometimes when I try to really belt out an Adele song or something, my throat just scratches. And I'm like,
you got to be careful. You got to me, my mo, me, mo, my me.
Red leather, yellow leather. Yeah, you got to warm up first thing in the morning.
And then I could not think of an Adele song. What's Adele's
Never
surname?
mind, I'll find Adkins.
Adele Adkins, yeah. I would have dropped Adkins as well.
Dave always, because remember I always say nobody knows her last name, and he always tells me, and I say, shut up, Dave.
Adele Adkins.
How nice has it been not having Dave here?
Oh, so good. So Dave's the other guy on our other podcast to go on, and this has been a real eye opener.
Yeah. He is holding us back.
I did not know this until now. I'm sitting in his chair.
Yeah.
This feels so good.
Wow.
Because I used to sit across the desk going, geez, I couldn't do what he does.
Yeah.
And now that I'm here.
Easy.
I am half asleep. I mean, if I do nod off, assuming I keep doing the podcast, just let me sleep.
Yeah, all right.
I think it should be fine.
Hey, don't you do that. You'll make me. And now that's made everyone at home yawn.
So Fraser says he's been making somewhat of a comeback recently. He's in a show coming up called Condor, and that's a TV series which apparently is quite good. He's just started to work his way back in, which makes me happy.
Yeah, I support him.
There was quite a long stint. Basically the first decade and a bit of this millennium.
Yep.
Millennium. That's something I should mention as well about George of the Jungle. Obviously, it's a movie that's really from the pre-9/11 era, right?
Oh, yeah.
You've got to remember it was simpler times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this movie would get made anymore. Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen too much.
Yeah.
Can we go back to this naive time where a Tarzan type named George, is watching out for trees and talking to his friend Abe. I mean,
now I feel like if that was made today, people just wouldn't grasp onto the whimsy as much as we do now, and that's sad.
It is sad. You know, I yearn for a simpler time.
Yeah.
I've looked up this feature on humanehollywood.org, which I think it sort of makes sure that the movies are okay to animals and whatnot.
Oh, great.
It's been interesting. And this was given an acceptable rating.
Oh.
It says, well, they talk a little bit about different parts of the scene. Do you want me to read this paragraph
I would love
here?
it. Yes, please. It would be weird if you just let me read it and then we just sat here in silence for a bit. I reckon you should read it.
All right, I'll read it out loud. When Ursula and her fiancé encounter the lion, George enters the scene and wrestles it. So this is early on. This is when we...
this is when they
George
meet.
And Ursula and...
Lyle!
He is seen supposedly hoisting the lion above his head and then body slamming it. George bounces off a tree and elbows the lion in the chest. It's a fun wrestling scene.
It's very fun.
But
also, like, where did he get his knowledge of wrestling?
Yeah, that's a good question.
He makes a lot of
Also
references
from
to
Ape.
specific moves.
Yeah, he does.
I don't feel like Ape would be the type
No.
that would consume wrestling.
Chess,
Yeah.
painting, wrestling.
Culture, wrestling. I like Glow, that TV show about
That's
women's
true.
wrestling.
I'm right into Glow as well. I have not as yet seen season 2, but
You simply must.
I have a feeling I'll watch it. I'll watch season 1 in 2 days, I reckon.
Yeah, that's what I did with the second season.
I reckon I'll probably do the same
Please
again when I
let
have
me
a little bit of
know
time.
when you've watched it.
Okay.
We can discuss.
I reckon
I'm
I'll-
already wanting to watch it again.
Oh, cool.
And I finished it 2 days ago.
Hey, we should do are you thinking we should do a Glow podcast?
Yes!
No,
no, our Fraser one is much better.
Yeah, phrasing the bar.
Fuck yes.
He then flips the lion over and grabs its hind leg in a vice grip and picks it up by the scruff of the neck, tossing it into the jungle. Jeez, this is the humane. They're really enjoying describing this animal cruelty scene. This scene was shot in several cuts. A real and fake lion were used. For all of the wrestling scenes, the trainer, dressed as a stunt double, was used, and he and the lion just played a familiar game. When the lion is seen receiving body slams, being picked up and tossed, etc., a fake lion was substituted for the real one.
Get out of town.
Well, yet again...
Are you saying Brendan Fraser couldn't lift a fully grown lion above his head?
I am certainly not saying that. I'm saying that he didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he couldn't.
Yeah, thank you. Because he didn't, because he's a good person.
Yeah.
Ethically, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah. He played the real, he played the scene for its truth.
Yeah.
But he was faking it.
What a professional.
There is a toucan, so that's got the tick of approval.
Yeah.
Obviously, the wrestling was playing.
No lions
and
were...
the throwing was a fake lion.
Yes.
Which I know is going to break some hearts out there. But
I'm so sorry. But also, if that's breaking your heart...
Jess, please, you're not sorry. We don't do that here.
You're right. You're right. No, it was more of a sarcastic sorry.
Thank you.
Because what I was saying is, I'm sorry that you're disappointed a lion wasn't really badly injured.
Oh, no,
You
no.
fucking monster.
All right, look, let's just say this out loud.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this podcast and you enjoy real lions being picked up by jungle muscle men and thrown through the air, then turn off right now and unsubscribe. I don't want you.
We do not want your listenership, sir.
Go listen to something else. This is not the podcast for you, sir.
No.
I'm sorry to assume you're a man.
I was going to say, or madam.
Yes. Women can enjoy animal cruelty too.
But not on our watch.
Not on our watch. Not now, not ever.
Honestly, there's a podcast for everything out there. There's probably one for you.
Yeah. So good luck in your search.
Good day.
Good day.
Okay, now that we've got rid of that riffraff.
Yes. Thank
Ugh.
God now that it's just us.
Good people.
Oh, no, I just looked at the stats. We've lost most of our audience.
Oh, no. These live stats.
So they also talk a little bit about the toucan, your favourite.
Yes.
What was the toucan's?
Tukey.
Tukey the toucan. Love that.
Tukey.
So we're talking about, if you've just joined us, we're talking about an article on humanehollywood.org about the film George of the Jungle.
I love that humanehollywood.org exists, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's a really
I'm
going to
look up every film I can now.
Yeah, and just fingers crossed it's got an acceptable rating.
What about Tukey?
There's a toucan seen throughout the film performing various behavioural tricks. A real and a puppet Tukey bird was used. When the real toucan is used, the trainer placed him on his mark and used verbal and hand commands to cue him. Shep, an elephant, the dog elephant, is seen in many scenes in the film where it is performing basic pre-trained behavioural tricks. This is something you asked me before over breakfast. Was it a real elephant?
I think parts of it were.
I think parts of it were, yeah. I said because I said to you that it was based on a real elephant.
You said, I think it was based on a real elephant. I said,
Yep.
Yeah.
I
reckon you're right.
I reckon that's probably
I reckon elephants existed, and that's what they based their CGI elephant on.
Blew my mind. That's why we had to push back the recording of this by several weeks.
Yeah.
While I got over that.
Yeah, well, we've had Matt in hospital.
Yeah.
As they put his mind back together.
I've slowly had to relearn how to function. It says, however, where Shep is dog-like, a computer-generated image has been created.
Oh.
For the animal stampede scene, the various animals were filmed separately in front of a blue screen, running from A to B, from chimpan A to chimpan B. Okay. The trainers released the animals from a cage at this point, at point A, while another trainer cued them with verbal and hand commands to point B, where a second cage waited. I mean, are they now all of a sudden Humane Hollywood's okay? They're calling these cages acceptable?
But on what?
We trusted you.
Humane.
Who knows? I mean, who knows?
Well, maybe cages are okay in the context of keeping a dangerous animal separate from humans.
Right.
So a lion, for example, you don't like. While I think they should be roaming free in the wilderness, they probably shouldn't
or on
be.
film sets.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's lots of people
Wait, so
around.
talk me through this.
Okay, so out in their natural habitat, they're king of the jungle.
Right.
And it's sort of the.
I wonder what they thought of when Fraser moved in and he took the throne.
Well, I think obviously initially there would have been some resentment.
Yeah.
But
how do you say?
But then I think he probably proved himself, and he's quite a respectful and noble leader.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about how he body slammed.
Oh, they're playing.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I did forget that.
They're playing, but on a film set, you've got hundreds of humans.
Right.
And I look
kings of the concrete jungle. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And call me crazy.
Okay, you are crazy.
I hadn't finished what I was saying.
Sorry.
Yet. But I don't think we should just let lions roam free in our film studios.
Okay.
Where they could just be willy-nilly attacking innocent humans.
Okay, so you're now casting aspersions on lions.
No, I'm just saying if I like humans over lions is what I'm saying. Also,
really?
I'm going to start calling us humans. I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing it.
Humans?
Humans.
Are you going to spell it differently or just?
H-O-O.
Yeah.
M-A-N-S, yeah.
Humans.
Humans. Are we human or are we dancers?
Dances. I'm going to start calling dancing dancing.
I love it.
Now, finally, we've got to the juice of this article about Humane Hollywood and George of the Jungle. This is what we want. Now, finally, we're talking about primates.
Fantastic.
And they haven't given us a lot here, but they say whenever apes are seen in the film, they are actually actors in ape costume. All major animal actors have a puppet double. That's it.
Right, okay.
That's all they've given us there.
So is that rated acceptable?
I mean, they've given it an acceptable overall. Do you want to know what acceptable means?
I want to know what.
I think
what are the other options?
Right.
Unacceptable, I'm assuming.
Okay, so you've got.
Is acceptable like a mid-range or is that the top range?
No, it looks like there's an outstanding. So it's one down from outstanding.
Oh, that's disappointing, George.
Safety representatives were on set to ensure the safety of the animals throughout production. After screening the finished product and cross-checking all animal action, we determined the film met or exceeded our guidelines for the safe use of animals in film media. That's and then it's given the credit, the disclaimer, no animals were harmed. That's outstanding. Acceptable is safety representatives were not able to monitor every scene in which animals appeared. However, American Humane Association oversaw significant animal action filmed in compliance with our guidelines for the safe use of animals in film media. After screening the finished product and cross-checking all animal action supervised during production, we acknowledge that the filmmakers have cooperated fully with our process. So that's acceptable.
Wow. Okay. What's unacceptable? All animals were injured.
Then there's special circumstances, and then there's unacceptable. Unacceptable is production failed to adhere to our guidelines for the safe use of animals in film media, or disregarded animal safety, leading to improper animal safety and directly caused the injury or death of an animal. And I just want to say, if I could just take a moment,
please,
and say, if you're listening here now and you make films that have an unacceptable rating, thank you.
I know you're angry.
I can't think of words when I'm angry.
I know.
If you've been given an unacceptable rating by the Humane Hollywood, then you are a filmmaker. I do not want to be listening to this podcast right now. I would ask you to please stop listening, unsubscribe, and go find another podcast. Yeah. This one is not for you.
I want to know what films are unacceptable. That's what
so
I
can
know.
Spit on them.
Yeah, so I can petition for them never to be on any streaming services. I will find all of their DVDs and burn them safely.
I mean, we're joking here, but honestly, that does sound awful.
And it'd have to be pretty extreme for you to not meet it, surely.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't just have animals on a set unless they're with a trainer.
It feels like there should be, in the modern age, which we live in so many ways we live in the modern age.
Yeah, I'd argue that.
That surely there's no excuse.
None whatsoever.
I've only just found this website, so I might.
What an absolute blessing it is!
It is such a blessing. What a resource!
Yes.
What a great resource!
What a resource!
Such a good resource.
Yeah, great.
Do you have any sort of final thoughts about the movie? I think we've probably this. I think maybe when people study George of the Jungle at university from now on, this might be a subscribed text.
Wow.
Do you think?
I would be honoured.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
If it is, if you're listening to this in the future and it is a text you're using for your studies, please send me an email at jessperkinscomedy@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you, and you're welcome.
Yeah.
Do I have any final thoughts? Oh, can I rate it?
Yes. Well, normally how we rate, give the movie a rating, sure. And then also we normally have a rating because chimpanzees are said to have share about 98% DNA with humans.
Wow.
So I like to get my guests to give a percentage rating on how much of themselves they see in the primates depicted on screen. So I guess in this case we might talk about ape. How much of ape do you see of yourself do you see in ape as a percentage?
I speak English.
Yep.
I can read.
Okay.
I can basic cook.
Yep.
I suppose technically I can paint. If
you had paint.
I've got paint and like a canvas, I could apply one to the other.
Yeah.
Not particularly well, but I could.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot play chess. I could.
You could.
Wow. Okay. Yes, that number is increasing. And he's quite flatulent as well.
Is he? Oh, he is too.
Which I'm capable of, if I can be completely honest with you, Matt, which I hope I always can. I know those aren't your type of jokes. You don't enjoy that humour, but I'm just being honest.
It's beneath me, that's all I think.
I'm aware.
I think I'm better than it.
I'm better than that.
Is that?
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm apologising, but I know we don't say sorry here.
No.
So percentage-wise, how much of myself do I see in ape or how much of ape do I see in me? I'm going to go 85%.
85%, that's a great
I feel like ape and I could really shoot the shit, you know?
I reckon, 85 is great. And I'd say, I think I'd agree with most of the things you said, only I can't read. So I guess I'm 82%.
I reckon he could teach you too.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then maybe could lift my rating up higher.
Wow.
And what do you give the movie? Do you want another quick? I found where my fun facts page. It's the IMDb Trivia page. That's where I found the mashed potato and the Brendan Fraser's wife at the time.
Amazing. Yes.
Afton Smith.
Yes.
Was the woman who said that she wishes she could find a man like him. I don't know how fun this is, but this is another good fact. It says almost every element of the George of the Jungle cartoon series is included in this movie. Even the never argue with the narrator line that shows up in Jay Ward's cartoons.
Oh, okay.
So it's a real tight homage.
Homage.
Well, it's probably not homage. It's an adaptation.
Yes.
An adaptation.
I'm going to sneeze. I am so sorry for that.
That's all. It's unforgivable, but please don't apologise.
That is a kind of fun fact.
Yeah. It wasn't as fun as a mashed potato.
No, you should have saved that to the end.
Should have saved to the end.
Always save mashed potato till last.
Oh, maybe you'll find this interesting, all right? If you don't, you disagree with the 10 out of 10 who found this interesting on the website.
Oh.
The personal trainer who got Brendan's body in incredible shape sued Brendan for not mentioning him in the movie credits. The trainer lost his case.
What? He has to mention his PT?
Well, apparently not, according to the courts. I feel like it was, it's something he could have done.
Sure, but how odd.
Yeah, I guess if it was an official role, it does, look, I have no idea.
I can't say I've noticed in any other credits of action movies where it said Mr. Schwarzenegger's personal trainer.
I reckon, I imagine that would happen sometimes.
Yeah.
I imagine if he knew it was going to be a court case, it would have been easy just to do it. But
yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, I wonder if the guy knew, or woman, knew beforehand if...
Yeah, is it something they'd agreed upon?
Yeah.
Or was he just assuming that would happen?
Yeah, if they were just assuming, then it's a bit weird.
That's odd.
Potential.
How strange. But okay, but he lost.
Yes. Did you also know that Ursula in this film was a resident of San Francisco?
Yes.
It says here, and I think this is an incorrect use of ironically, but anyway, ironically, San Francisco is Leslie Mann's hometown.
That is ironic.
No, it's
not at all.
Is it?
It's.
I mean, it's ironic in the way that words don't mean anything. We've put meaning onto them.
Yeah.
So if you want to change the meaning of a word at any point, why not?
What could they have used instead? Coincidentally,
interestingly.
Yeah.
Slightly interestingly.
Ursula is from San Francisco. So is Leslie Mann, who plays her.
Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, didn't really need to. Anyway, I think
it's not even that interesting.
No.
I wouldn't use an interestingly on that.
I was bored
I
reading
yawned.
it out. 3 out of 5 found that one interesting.
Yeah.
Which I think is fair enough too. Obviously, the highest ones were the ones I was talking about. 78 out of 81 mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Interesting. 77 out of 79 Brendan Fraser's wife at the time.
Very
interesting. Anyway, so that's the film.
Yep.
Final thoughts. What's your rating out of 10?
7 bananas out of 10.
7 bananas. Bananas is the appropriate one.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe I'll start doing that.
Maybe 8. Because I agree. It's a silly film.
8 bananas? That's something I'll do later.
You should have said something I did yesterday.
Yeah, that would have.
I ate bananas. You fucking idiot.
I fucked it. It was my one big shot. Now, if you're a casting agent listening to this podcast, turn it off right now. I do not want you listening unless you got any jobs for me.
Or me. Matt, can I have jobs too?
Or Jess, please.
Thank you. Or the two of us.
Yeah.
As a duo.
Better. Yeah.
We can play Siamese twins.
If you want.
We could play a couple of dodgy lawyers.
Yeah. Hey, my client deserves your full attention.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
Yeah, I think we got it. I think we got that part.
And other. We can play other parts.
Yeah, that's something that is always worth mentioning. I don't want to limit.
We are no Crystal the Monkeys.
No.
We do not typecast ourselves.
We don't play one role well. We play many roles poorly.
Yes. We are a jack of all trades in that we can do lots of things in an average manner.
Yes.
Thank you.
You give me paint, you give me a brush, you give me a canvas, I can transport the paint from one to the other.
Easy.
Easy.
Give me a roller, I'll do it faster.
Yeah. Give me a roll is what we're asking.
Yes.
That's what we're asking. So we normally finish the episodes here at Primate Podcast, as you know, Jess, because you listen to the show.
Of course.
Obviously.
Big fan.
We talk about a sporting mascot.
Yes.
Primate related at this stage. I'm fast running out of them, but I've got a little sting here. I don't know if I'm putting them in. I can't remember, but that was fun, wasn't it, Jess?
Mm-hmm. Loved it.
I loved it too.
I like that ending.
Do you have a favourite sporting mascot?
Absolutely, yes. Do you remember the Sydney Olympic Games, 2000?
Yes.
And do you remember the mascots?
Yeah, Sid, Ollie, and Sid. One was named after Sydney, one after the Olympics, and one after the Millennium. Millie.
Millie.
I couldn't tell you which is which, but there was an echidna, a
Millie
platypus.
was the echidna. Sid was a platypus.
And a kookaburra?
Yes, that was Ollie.
And who was your favourite? Or you're grouping them together.
I'm grouping them together
It's a beautiful triptych.
Because I think we've talked about this on Do Go On. I was 10 for those Olympics. It was the first one in my lifetime.
We probably did because we did a whole episode about the
on that
ceremony.
opening ceremony. First Olympics, well, we still haven't had it again in Australia since then.
No, even after all these 18 years.
Yeah, we haven't had one. And it was very exciting because we live in Melbourne, but Sydney's not that far away. So the whole family was going to go. And then I got chicken pox. So Mum and I had to stay while my brother and my dad and my brother's friend got to go. They road tripped up to Sydney, saw lots of the Olympics. But as a what's the word I'm looking for here? Consolation, I got toys. These little plush toys of each of them. Millie, Sid, Ollie and Millie. So
Millie, Sid, Ollie and Millie. You got all four.
Got all four. So I hold them as a group dearly.
Yeah.
Because they represent a time in my life when I missed out on something due to stupid illness.
All great animals as well.
Yeah, great Australian animals.
Top of their fields.
Agreed.
I'd say platypus is probably my favourite, but I love all of those.
God, platypus are a weird animal.
So good.
So great.
Platypus and the echidna, two of the only monotremes in the world. Egg-laying mammals.
Amazing.
That's a fact, I think.
Look it up. So yeah, that is my answer for your question.
That's a great answer.
Thank you.
Do you want to hear the primate mascot
Please.
of the week?
Yes, please.
Its name is Gorilla. And
What is it?
It's a gorilla.
Oh.
And the mascot of the Sacramento Kings, which is an NBA team who've gone through so many. I didn't realize this, but they, over in the past, before being Sacramento Kings, they were the Kansas City Kings. Before that, they were the Kansas City Omaha Kings. Before that, Cincinnati Royals. Before that, Rochester Royals. Before that, Rochester Pros. Before that, Rochester Eber Seagrams.
Oh, I don't like that one.
And before that, Rochester Seagrams. Anyway, so they had for quite a while a mascot called Gorilla. Their mascot now is Slamson the Lion.
Slamson?
Slamson the Lion.
Slamson.
Well, allow me.
Oh, yes.
Allow me to explain because Slamson has its own Wikipedia page, and in case you haven't understood the name, it helps you. It helps explain. Okay, Slamson the Lion is the official mascot of the NBA franchise, the Sacramento Kings. His name is a play on the name Samson, in reference to the biblical hero. And obviously they've added in slam, which is a basketball maneuver.
Oh.
When you, how do you say, dunk it?
How do you say?
You're a big basketball player, though, Bob. That's why I chose this one.
Thank you. I've never slam dunked.
You've never slam dunked?
No, I'm 5'7".
I was going to say, you've got to be either a really, I think you have to be 6 foot something to even have a
just for the
shot
arm
at
reach,
it, right?
yeah, and the jump, yeah.
Slamson lives in the Golden One Center behind the bleachers in Sacramento, California. He was born in South Africa. It's a man in a suit, by the way. He was born in South Africa with his mother Slamit.
Oh,
which
what?
I don't. What's Slamit a play on? Slamit.
Slam it?
Slamet. Slamit.
Slam it.
Is it meant to be a play on Janet?
I hope not, because that's terrible. Call her Janet.
And father Sir Slam the Lion.
Sir Slam. Oh, he comes from nobleman.
Yeah.
Oh.
Due to his family being very poor, the Sacramento Kings went to help him. after losing their other dear beloved mascot, Gorilla.
This is fucking stupid.
But it's stupid. It's also like they've gone and it sounds like they've kidnapped
a baby lion.
A baby lion.
Yes.
To entertain, to use as an entertainment.
Like Madagascar.
Yeah.
It all comes back.
It was then shipped to Sacramento, California to entertain kids in Sacramento.
Did Gorilla have this backstory? And also, they couldn't think of a name for gorilla.
Yeah,
they just
gorilla.
called a gorilla gorilla. Then again, somebody did say to me they want to get a dog and just name it Dog.
I mean, okay, maybe that's fun. On the NBA website, Slamson also has its own page. Slamson, and then it's got the Latin Felinus Entertainus Maximus.
Oh my God. Don't make up Latin. Don't make up Latin.
On radio recently, I was someone.
We all do radio.
A plant expert came in and he was
expert.
Gardening man, and he
horticulture.
Horticulturalist. That's actually what it was. Thank you. And he was talking about Latin names for plants, and I'm like, the only Latin I know is the Saints' Latin emblem mascot, motto. Great, which is, and I said Fortius quo fidelius. And everyone else in the room, 3 other people on air at the time, assumed I was joking. But apparently it's not Fidelius.
Aww.
It's Fidelius.
Nah, Fidelius is
better.
better.
Thank you.
So much better.
I knew, because you speak Latin.
Yeah. My school motto was Ecclesiae Filiae, which is Daughters of the Church.
Oh.
Beautiful.
That's a beautiful man.
Fidelius.
Beautiful mosto.
Mosto.
Mosto
My
to you too.
school had great mosto.
So on the NBA website it says Slamson, Felinus Entertainus Maximus, is the official mascot for the San Francisco. No, it's not. Sacramento Kings. It was acquired.
God, imagine if it was San Francisco.
Imagine.
It all ties together.
That would tie together very nicely. He was acquired by our Kings Scouts while taking a cat nap under a tree in Capitol Park.
What are you talking about, you lunatics?
This is a big multi-million-dollar business.
Do all the other mascots have their own page, or is Slamson just special?
I think they do.
I don't want to hear more of it. What are they talking about?
It's like on a similar thing. Someone's taking the
just
time to
focus
write
on
this
the
out.
sport, you fucking idiots.
Slamson has received the NBA's Most Valuable Cat Award 12 times.
Oh my God. Should have been 9 times.
You're
idiots.
gonna. I wasn't sure when I saw this earlier whether you'd love or hate this, but it's clear now and it only gets worse. He generates more than 12 million smiles per year.
Fuck off.
And averages 338 hugs per appearance, sometimes delivering more than 1 hug to the same person.
338 hugs. Okay, first of all, if somebody has stood next to the mascot and counted the number of hugs, that's weird. But also, if you are the man in the costume giving out 330, I hope you're getting paid well, because that's so many hugs. And I am a clingy person who loves hugs.
You love to hug.
Too many.
Too many hugs.
No. Oh, get off me.
Favorite book? Cat and the Hat?
I'll get fucked. No.
Favorite song?
musical? Favorite musical? Cats?
No, it doesn't do that. It feels like a real opportunity missed there.
Idiots.
Favorite song? Cat Scratch Fever. Favorite movie? Lion King. Star sign? Leo.
Oh.
College? Lionel University. I guess that's a play on something that I don't know. There must be a Lionel. Anyway, I think we've spent too much time on that. But yeah, I can't find very much on Gorilla.
Yeah,
just
interesting.
Gorilla's gone now. But Slamson, you loved Slamson, and it was all downhill from there.
I don't know if I did. Did I love Slamson?
You seem to.
Yeah. Look, you know what I'm like.
You know what I'm like. You're a flipper.
I'm a flipper and a flopper.
Well, I think that is just about all we have time for today on Primates Podcast. Thanks so much for coming in, Jess Perkins.
What an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
There is a sequel, straight to DVD sequel to this movie. So maybe if you're up for it, coming back someday, we can do the sequel.
Yes.
Who had only 3 cast members return, not including your man.
Did include John Cleese.
Did include John Cleese.
A little bit disappointed in John Cleese for that.
Well, he needed the cash.
Also, I think you can get an audiobook of his autobiography that he reads. So maybe you could listen to it.
Okay.
Can you listen?
I wish I could.
Yeah, okay.
As a man, not one of the qualities we're born with.
You said it.
Somehow I've got 2 of these and 1 of these, but I use them in the wrong ratio. How can people find you, Jess?
They can hear me on Do Go On podcast, as we've mentioned before. They can hear me on Triple J, or they can hear me by holding a shell up to their ear.
Are you reading your bio from Twitter?
I'm really proud of that.
It is very good.
When I wrote that, I thought, that's very funny, Jess. I'm going to use that as much as possible, to be honest.
I think you should. And I regret calling you out on it.
Thank you.
I thought it was a fun thing to do. Probably might even edit that out.
Can also find me on social media. I love social media. Jess Perkins on Instagram, Jess_Perkins on Twitter. There's a Facebook page in there somewhere too.
So jealous.
You can email me at jessperkinscomedy
of how
at Gmail.
Yes.
If you want. I don't know. Don't know what you'd email about, but
you can find our podcasts at dogoonpod.com.
Yes.
My Twitter is mattstew_art.
Love it.
My Instagram is mattstewcomedy and Facebook is /mattstewcomedy. If you got any suggestions for guests or topics or any sort of primate facts or mascots or anything at all, feel free to drop me a line. I think I've probably got some of the primate. I think I've got Primate Pod on Twitter, but I don't know if I'll bother using that or not. Have a look and see.
That's the spirit.
Yeah. But thanks so much for joining us. It's been a real pleasure. Please like and subscribe. Unless you're one of these maniacs
that have been previously mentioned, in which case, why are you listening?
Yeah.
Why are you still listening?
I feel like we made it very clear.
We told you to hit the road, Jack.
Yeah.
Hey, when you sign off, you know how on our podcast I always go bye. I'm gonna do something a little bit different, just because we're not on our pod, and I don't want to be typecast as just that person.
Fill out the space.
Yeah, I haven't thought of anything.
just riff it at the time.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well, you let me know when you're doing it.
All right. Well, I think that's all the time we had. Do you have any sort of primate sign off ideas?
You could just get people to make monkey noises.
Okay.
If you want. Or that could be a bit demeaning.
Yeah. To monkeys, us trying to imitate poorly what they do. You
could almost say, bye, mate.
Okay.
Sounds a bit like primate.
Okay. Bye, mates. That's good. All right.
Yeah.
I might start doing that.
Okay, great.
All right. Thanks so much for joining me today, /tonight, or whenever people are listening. Jess Perkins. And I'd love to say, bye, mates.
Farewell. I panicked. Was it any good?
You nailed it.
Yes.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates. I mean, if you want. It's up to you.